About 2 months ago I made this video testing whether it is faster to steal a jet or just drive to the city. This testing revealed that the jet was a good bit faster than the car. However, since then the enhanced version of GTA 5 released on PC. This version introduced HSW modifications for a bunch of cars, including the Banshee GTS, the one I used in the first video. Using these new HSW modifications, I will do a retest. The test will start here and go all the way down this road and will eventually end in the downtown area of Los Santos. The second test, which is the jet run, will also start here. We will drive down the road and into Fort Zancudo, where we'll steal the jet and then fly straight into downtown Los Santos. Alright, without further ado, let's take a look at the first run. For our first run we have the Banshee GTS HSW. This will just be a very straight up run. This is like how most people would do it. You just go straight. It's really easy. I know what you're thinking. Oh yeah, traffic, but this highway is so wide. Traffic really doesn't affect you that much. You either go through it very flawlessly or you crash. And in that case, skill issue. As you can see, it's very wide. Really, traffic isn't really a big deal. Maybe in the city a little bit, I can see that. But even then, it's only gonna cost you maybe a couple seconds. Also, in the jet, we also ignore traffic for a bit. But as you can see, it's a very quick run. It's 1 minute 50. Very efficient, very easy. In the end, you will get there quite safe. You don't have to go into military base after all. Then for the second run, we have the jet run, which also starts here with the Banshee GTS. It's also the HSW version. So we drive down the same road, but instead of going straight, we'll go left here. This is also a relatively normal run. Go here. If you have a hangar, you don't get a wanted level, but otherwise you have to dodge some jeeps or tanks maybe. But most of the time you can just steal it quite easily. It's not that deep. Then get here. Sometimes, well, always there's a guy that spawns here that you sometimes have to shoot if you don't have a hangar. But yeah, we get on there, then get in, and from that point you just have to take off. Of course, when you get a wanted level, the other jet is gonna chase you, so maybe you have to worry about that. But yeah, in this simulation, both runs are just perfect scenarios, so keep that in mind. Here we go above the 1000 feet, just to increase our speed, because if you go above 850 or 950 feet, something like that, you actually go a bit faster in planes. In this run we actually go for like a landing run, because realistically, if you want to go to downtown, you don't just want to fly to downtown, you want to land in downtown, right? So this one is a quite fast approach. Like we land, but we still have a lot of speed, because with the Banshee we also had a lot of speed, so I wanted to keep it a little bit fair. But as you can see, 153, mostly due to a lot of time lost, actually getting into the jet and also, stopping there for a bit. Now, secondly, we also have a jet run, because on our original video we had a few comments who suggested some other things. So the first one, which was a much liked comment, was me not hitting the dirt jump right here is having sacrilege or something like that. Some very fancy word. Yeah, but little spoiler, it's not really faster. It's cooler, sure. But with the HSW car, you actually have to slow down, because this thing can easily jump the whole thing, and then, well, you don't really get into the base, you just jump over it. But yeah, it's not faster, because, well, yeah, basically just you drive further, then you have the weird turnaround when you land, and it's just not faster. Also because, well, the jet is here, not back there. And at that point it's just flying, so speed is up once again. We'll do the same, 1000 feet kind of thing here. And as you can see, you don't really save that much time. I think in this run I decided to do a little bit more different. Yeah, a little later approach, but still kind of a landing approach. But as you can see, still lost a couple seconds there. It's like 3 seconds slower than the other run. So doing the dirt jump is cool, sure. Worth it? No, not really. Then another one is, okay, I shouldn't fly high. Well, some people think like, oh, you shouldn't take off and go high. So in this run we do the normal approach, because we found out this is faster. And instead of getting to altitude, we are just going to stay low. I must say, staying low is more fun and looks cooler. But once again, I'm going to spoil you. I mean, you could probably figure this out on your own. You're going to be slower. Because it is a fact, if you go above the 850, 950 feet, you do indeed go faster. And especially with a jet. You know, some planes, yes, getting to that altitude takes a lot of time. And for some distances, it doesn't make sense. But a jet gets to altitude so fast. And also you have to cross these mountains, which are already relatively high height. It does make perfect sense to get just on that altitude. As you can see here, I even didn't go for a landing. I just yeeted it in between the buildings, but we're already at 150. I just yeeted it right in there, and 152. So, yeah, did we save time? No, we didn't. We didn't really. With a landing approach, that would have been like 157 realistically. You know, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll make it, but yeah, we didn't make it. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to optimize it, right? So I did a couple more runs, and this was a more optimized, you know, Banshee run. Afterwards, I'm also going to show you a more optimized jet run. So we're going to use all the tricks to maximize the time. And this one, I'm not even hitting yellow things, because just in the case it slows you down 0.001 kilometers per hour or something. We hit the curb boost back there. We try and take this as ideal as possible. Very nice line here. Here I even, like, just a tiny lift, because you have to a little bit. I go for this curb boost on here as well, just to like really try and edge it out. Here I stay on the throttle very long. Almost hit that, but just don't. And the rest of the highway is relatively straightforward. You have some curves, but you don't really have a lot to gain or lose. Most of the time I can gain on this run is actually in the city. So here we also have a nice little curb boost we can do. You know, we're going really fast, so it's throwing us a little bit, so it's not a super ideal thing. But yeah, here steer to the right, so you get a little bit of curb boost right here. And then, yeah, this section is where you can gain or lose a lot of time. So here I broke a bit later than the other time. But yeah, here you have to be careful, because you can quite easily just, you know, fly into some road furniture, and then your run is over anyways. But yeah, from here on out, it's quite smooth sailing. It's just going straight. Yeah. And even with traffic, these roads are really, really wide, so it's really not that big of a deal. And even with all these optimizations, I only managed to squeeze out like about a second and a half. You know, in the end, I'll get a 148.8. So a little bit of time save, but this is ideally what we get. But then we also have the jet run, which I'm a little bit more excited for. With the jet run, we can optimize some things. Well, the first one is obviously the section here, just to make sure we get a good amount of speed here. Yeah, also ram through this right here, also important. But yeah, you can shave off some time, but it's not really gonna be that much. And like I said, it's just this ideal scenarios. In the real life scenario, you're going to be not shaving off that much time. And yeah, this is one section where we can shave off some time just getting onto the jet cleanly. Very important. And then here I went for just getting altitude right away. So we turn around and then straight away altitude. I'll look at the altitude meter. You can see it right in the middle kind of. And right when I hit 1,000, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna steady out a little bit. And at that point, yeah, we just go. I sped it up because it's a jet. It's not that exciting. We're flying at altitude. It's not that much. But yeah, I also decided to not go for a landing approach and just like dive bomb it in between the buildings, breaking all federal aviation laws. But you know, we get there, and we're faster. Yes, we are faster. It's a 144, but consider we didn't land. We would have died. So car, yes, the jet is 4 seconds faster, but the car would have been able to stop in like 1 second. The jet, if it had a landing approach, it would take longer. And then even getting out, I'm not even counting getting out of the jet. Getting out of the jet takes even longer. So if you're going to downtown, HSW is your best friend. Even with traffic, I would say yes. Because, well, if you want to land, you also have to land in traffic with a jet. And yeah, jumping out of a parachute, way slower as well. So in the end, HSW, I think, is the real good choice.